Looking for the king of podcasts? You're at the wrong channel. Looking for good ideas for life? You are far from good hands. If you think the listener is always right, you are far from the right place. Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, a rebel by choice. If you want a host that floats between love and madness, then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
What up? Excuse me while I whip this out. Oh, gnarly! Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. And good evening, friends.
Not all football helmets are created equal. Zenith, the industry leader in protective technology, is the only helmet in the game with adaptive head protection featuring a shock suspension system that can move independently from the helmet shell. Headquartered and developed in Detroit, Zenith is committed to player safety and revolutionary innovation. Zenith is proud to protect athletes at every level from Pee-wee to the pros. Learn more about the Zenith difference at zenith.com. That's XENITH.com.
Wow! Thinking your day is bad and really looking to make it worse? Why not try downloading this new classic set of music that will be dropping so far off the charts there's bound to be injuries. Now that's what I call depressing. It's gonna make those who are even close to having the slightest glimmer of hope want to jump off the highest of planks. For those that are getting Now That's What I Call Depressing, you'll be getting that song that reminds you of that relationship with those cougars, Wrinkled Ladies. For those who weren't really into cougars, but those who had that special friend whilst in cell block 2B, we got for you this clusterfuck that will put you in therapy for years to come. With cheeks wide open. Who the fuck writes this shit? Oh hell, we're still recording this commercial.
Always with you, it cannot be done.
Those that rather have it out than in. This loaded hit will be dropping soon, farthing in the USA. For those who place their order by calling or ordering online, the next 100 folks will receive their choice of either a noose of good quality that won't snap, an installation of a new outlet next to your bathtub so you can now blow dry your hair in a full tub. Or the choice of the right gang to just beat the fuck out of you. Call us today at 1-800-FUCK-THIS.
Hi, this is Joe Theismann, and you're listening to Crazy Train Radio.
Eagles Encyclopedia Champions Edition. The author needs no introduction, but we're going to do one anyway because this man's got so many accolades. He is the first print journalist into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. He becomes the News, 5-time lead, Pennsylvania for the football, Emmy Award for writer and producer for NFL films. Mr. Ray Didinger, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
No complaints on our end. And first and foremost, just out of that Temple University Press, you got to be a hell of a note taker to have all information to go together a book.
Well, there's a lot of research involved, I'll say that. But the team has a history that dates back to 1933. So a lot of games, a lot of players, a lot of coaches, a lot of highlights, a lot of lowlights. But it wasn't hard to get 500 pages out of it. Let's put it that way. There's a lot there. But the best part of it, and the real reason that we decided to do the book at all, is the fact that they actually finally won a Super Bowl in February. So that that's what everybody's been waiting for. That was they finally climbed the mountain. So we decided to do this third edition.
Yes, that decision is made to make championship edition here with the climbing of the mountain. You were saying, hey, we should update this, or was it the publisher saying, hey, what do you think about this?
Well, we had done two previous editions. We did one in 2005 after they went to Super Bowl 39, and then we did another edition, an updated version, in 2012 after the first year of Chip Kelly. And at that point, I talked to the editors the guys at Temple Press, and we just said, look, I think we probably got this thing covered for a while now, unless they win a Super Bowl. If they win a Super Bowl, I think we probably should do a real quick turnaround and update this book and get it out there, because then it becomes a true keepsake. And so, I don't think any of us thought in 2012 that it was going to happen. Everybody here in Philadelphia had kind of been living on the hope that it would happen, but I don't know that anybody really expected it to happen. But lo and behold, this team caught fire last year, and they did win the Super Bowl. And as soon as they won that Super Bowl, the wheels started moving, and a month later, I had a copy deadline. So it was a pretty intense writing period. But I'm really very proud of the finished product. I think it's really good, and the people here are really excited about it. It's done very well.
Well, obviously, I am originally from the Philadelphia area and know how the Philadelphia can be. How would you, for someone who's been so integrated, and not only in professional football, but especially in the Philadelphia sports world, for folks who don't know Ray, so why it's big, and the NBC Philadelphia affiliate, which used to be broadcast pre- and post-game show. Mm-hmm. But what was your take on the fans' reaction of finally climbing that mountain?
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming, but not surprising if those two kind of make sense together. I think everybody, at least I always felt that, given the love that these fans, the passion that these fans have for this football team and this franchise, and the way that the people have just hung with this team through the years and through the disappointments, that if they ever did win a Super Bowl, and there was never any guarantee that they would, but if they ever did, that it would be the biggest party, the biggest celebration, the biggest victors parade that the city had seen. Now, all the other teams had won. The Flyers had won 2 Stanley Cups. The Sixers had won a championship with Dr. J and Moses Malone. And the Phillies had won twice. The Phillies won in 80, and then they won again in 2008. And they all had parades, and they were all great. But I always felt that if the Eagles won, if the Eagles finally broke through and won, that it would be bigger than all of them. And I think it's true. I think that really is true. And anybody that either was at the parade that day at the Museum of Art, or anybody that saw the TV coverage, and you saw the crowd that literally covered all of Broad Street from down at the stadium at Broad and Pattison all the way up through Center City, all the way out the Parkway to the Art Museum. And you saw the crowd that turned out on that bitter cold morning. It was everything I expected it to be. It was everything I expected it to be and more, honestly. It was great, and it's a day that, I know that anybody that was there or anybody that experienced it, even just watching it on TV or the news coverage, is nobody's ever going to forget that.
Most people remember or will remember Jason Bird's form and his passionate speech, but we know the game is a quick and as the turns deal. But now we don't have the time to get in the specifics. We could sit for all day. But what do you think of the turnaround the Birds are made this year? Again, this and whatnot, but what's your take so far into this season?
Well, it's been a difficult year for them. There's no question, and I think they knew. Anybody that knows their football history expected it to be that. I mean, no one has won back-to-back since the Patriots way back in 04-05. So a lot of really good teams have won Super Bowls, but nobody's been able to win two in a row since then. And so this team knew the challenge. They knew that it was going to be a very, very tough fight, and it has been. And it's understandable because when you're the defending champion, you come in and you're every team's target. You will not have 16 regular season games. You're not going to have an easy one in the bunch because all the good teams are going to be targeting you as the team that they have to beat to get to the Super Bowl. And even the lousy teams that you play are going to come and give you their best shot because a win over the Super Bowl champ can in some way make up for a disappointing season. So you're going to have 16 knockdown, drag-out brawls, and it takes a real special team to be able to weather that. So you combine that challenge with the fact that they've had an awful lot of injuries, an awful lot of players hurt. I mean, they're basically right now playing with a defensive backfield where literally three of the guys who are starting right now weren't even on the roster a month ago. So you try and defend a championship with a whole bunch of guys who weren't part of the championship team in the first place. It makes a greater challenge. It makes a great challenge all that much greater. So that's kind of what they're experiencing now. And it's been they've had some tough losses. They've had some disappointing losses. But the fact of the matter is, with 5 weeks to go, they're still alive. And if they beat the Washington Redskins on Monday night, I mean they'll be right there with a chance to sneak into the playoffs. And then once you get in the playoffs, who knows what can happen?
Well, obviously we said a bunch of injuries and backs and all that. Is there any positive lights that you've seen this so far?
Positives? Well, I think that Carson Wentz is demonstrating this year that he's a really outstanding young quarterback and a guy that has the talent and has the leadership and has the demeanor to be the kind of quarterback that wins a championship. I really believe that. I think most of the fans in the city believe that. He started this year. He suffered a really, really bad knee injury at the end of last year and was unable to play in the postseason and was unable to play in the Super Bowl. And had a long, tough off-season rehab, and then was still not ready to start the season this year in September. He didn't start until week 3. So it's been, and he's still working his way back from the injury, to be frank. I still don't think he's quite 100%. But you've seen him play really well, I think, and you look at his statistics and what he's had to overcome because there have been some injuries on the offensive line. There's been some injuries in the other parts of the backfield. So they've lost some key players. It hasn't been easy for him, but he's fought through it, and he's still had a really good season. And he's still a young guy coming back from an injury. I think that if you're looking at the future of the Eagles, and you have reason and you want to be optimistic about the future of this team, you start with him. Because I think in today's NFL, it's almost impossible to win a championship without a top-tier quarterback. If you have that guy, you always have a chance. And I think at this point, even though the season has been very up and down, I think people can still look at Carson Wentz as a guy that's, even in the tough times, is going to give you a chance to win.
Well, the thing, and I watch a lot of football, obviously, but the thing with Wentz has really stood out for me this year is, yeah, there's been the ups and downs, as you discussed there, but the thing that I really you from got that extra spark lit under his ass. He said, he's like, because he said he was injured. He feels like it almost seems like he has something to prove there.
I do. I think he's a fiercely competitive guy. I think that he's in a sport where a lot of athletes in not just in the NFL but in all sports now, it's part showmanship and it's part look at me, and some of it is posturing and that. I think in many ways Wentz to me is very much a throwback. I mean he's just a straight up baller. You know, he just wants to go out there and play, and he doesn't care about the star part of it. He doesn't care about the acclaim. He doesn't count how many magazine covers he's on. He doesn't even worry about his own statistics. I mean, after a game, I doubt that he could tell you how many touchdown passes he threw, and he could care less how many yards. I mean, all he cares about is did we win or did we lose? And if they win, he doesn't take any of the credit, and if they lose, he takes most of the blame. I mean, he's in that sense, he's kind of an old school quarterback. He plays the way some of the quarterbacks played years ago, where it's just, they don't regard themselves as stars. They just regard themselves as football players and part of the team. And the whole concept of team in football is did we win or did we lose? And I think that Wentz has always had that quality about him. It's one of the reasons why he became a leader here so quickly, even as a young guy, that the players here do rally around him. And that's one of the things I really like about him, and that's one of the things that the fans in Philadelphia really like about him, because he's a young guy, but he's got old school kinds of values. And I think that I really do believe that he's a guy that is going to win a championship for this team. I believe that. Probably not this year, because I don't think that the rest of the team is good enough. But I think he's a guy that is going to have a good long career here, and I think I think he's going to bring another parade to the city before he's done.
Yeah, he's got that, we would say, in the Philadelphia area, and he has that lunch mentality that when he comes to work, he's coming to give a thing he. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, and it's part of it is I mean, he's very North Dakota. I mean, that's where he's from. He's a little bit of a country boy, and when he had the bye week, when he had the week off, I mean, he didn't go off and make commercials, and he didn't go down to South Beach and hang out. I mean, he went back to North Dakota and went duck hunting. He's very down to earth, but he's utterly committed to his craft, and he's utterly committed to his team, and you combine that with his size and his talent and that desire. I think that he's a guy that's going to do great things. I don't think there's much question about that. But he needs a little more help than what he's getting right now.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia sports fan appreciates that even at an early stage. The Eagles Encyclopedia Championship Edition, Ray Didinger, 94.1 WIP. Ray, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good luck with the book.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Take care.
Take care.
Hit 'em high and watch our Eagles fly. With over 30 years of experience and a superb reputation for being a detail-oriented company, Lacey Cleaning has some of the highest work standards in the cleaning business.
That's the fact, Jack!
Whether it's carpet cleaning, tile, grout cleaning, new construction cleanup, rental turnovers, vent and duct cleaning, odor elimination, office and or business cleaning, power washing, residential cleaning, you name it, they do it. Woo! Check them out. To contact them today, laceycleaning@gmail.com or call them at 609-709-8536.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hi, this is Bill Conti. You're listening to Crazy Train Radio.